So if you're sitting like this, you're helping gravity to pull your breast down to the ground. What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to another exciting episode of Health Savvy with Dr. O. You already know. And today we're going to be discussing something that we pretty much started talking about earlier, maybe sometime last week or so, but I definitely have a video up about it, and so this is just going to be like a continuation, right? So basically I'm talking about how to prevent your breast from sagging. You know, in one of my other videos we talked about what causes your breast to sag. So if you missed that video, kindly check below. I'm going to link it down below. Make sure you go and watch that video so that you're not lost when we're talking here, right? So basically, how do you prevent your breast from sagging? Like, now that we know the causes, what can we do to actually prevent it? Because like I said, breast sagging is every woman's nightmare. It makes you feel like you're getting old. For some people, it makes them feel like they're no longer attractive, like what's going on with me and stuff like that, you know. So it can be a really undesirable or unpleasant change in the body for most women, and that's why we need to find out how can we deal with this thing before it comes, like how can we deal with it before it comes close, right? Prevent it from happening. So nip it in the bud. Okay, so that's why I'm here for you, and we're going to talk about that in just a bit. Before we talk about the preventions, I'm just going to give a little recap and talk about the two main mechanisms that cause your breast to sag. Okay, so for your breast to be sitting up and pretty, perky, looking nice and sexy just the way you like it, there are actually some factors that play a role. One of them is the ligaments that support the breast, right? These ligaments help to hold the breast up and keep it looking nice and firm and not sagging. And there's also the skin that is surrounding the breast. You know, when the skin surrounding the breast looks very young and firm and nice, right, the breast looks nice. But when the skin starts to look saggy, the breast automatically is going to sag and look saggy as well. So those are two main things you might want to consider. That there's ligament supporting the breast, and there's also the skin surrounding the breast that needs to look firm and nice as well. In my video about causes of why the breast sag, we talked about those factors and factors that affect the elasticity of the skin or cause the stretching of that ligament, right? Because when that ligament that supports the breast is stretched, then your breasts are going to sag inevitably, right? So we now looked at, okay, what are the causes of these things that make the ligament stretch, right? So today we're now going to be looking at how can we prevent this ligament from stretching, or how can we prevent the skin from losing its elasticity, or how can we maintain the elasticity of the skin. My number one point for preventing breast sagging, please, I hope you're taking notes. If you don't have your notepad, bring it out right now. This is the time to write. Take notes. So number one is you need to wear a good supportive bra. I cannot overemphasize the importance. Some people are wearing bras and they're not even wearing the right size. Some people are wearing bras that are too big for them. Some are wearing bras that are too tight, right? That's going to cause another set of problems on its own, right? And if you're wearing bras that are not the right size, that are too big for you, it's not giving you the right support that you need, especially if you have big breasts. We all know that if you have bigger breasts, you need more support, because the size of your breast is going to tend to cause the ligament to stretch more if it doesn't get that support. So you want to make sure that you're wearing a very good supportive bra. And like I said in one of my other videos, I'm going to do a video on, you know, how to know your right bra size, how to buy the right bra size for you, so you know how to measure your cup size and all that. So we'll talk about that later. That's not what this video is all about. This video is all about preventing breast sagging, right? And like I said, you need to get a good bra. So check and make sure that you're wearing the right size of bra. Check and make sure that you're getting enough support, you know, because especially when you're doing things that involve breast movement, like maybe exercising, like running, jogging, jumping, those kind of things, right? The breast is going to need, the ligaments of the breast is going to need that support to actually hold the breast up. So the more you're wearing a bra that's not good for you, the more the ligament is not going to get that support in it, and the more it's going to get stretched, and inevitably that's going to lead to sagging of the breast, which is exactly what we don't want. Next thing that I'd like to talk about is something that a lot of us are guilty about. Like, everyone is guilty about it. Nobody is even trying. Nobody can even form saying here like, oh, I don't do this or anything like that. It's talking about our posture. So how we sit, how we stand, how we carry ourselves. So just imagine that every time this is how you sit, or this is how you stand, you're slouching, right? This is called slouching. And when you slouch, what happens? Even as you're slouching now, your breast is facing downwards, so your breast is basically falling. You're basically putting the weight of your breast is downwards, so it's hanging. So you're basically stretching that ligament that is supposed to be supporting the breast. So basically, the more you slouch, the more you stretch that ligament, because you're supporting gravity when you're doing like this, because what gravity does is a force that pulls things to the center of the earth. So it pulls things to the ground. So if you're sitting like this, you're helping gravity to pull your breast down to the ground, right? What we're trying to do here is work against gravity, not work with gravity. We're working against it. So if you want to work against gravity, you have to sit upright, sit straight with your shoulders upright. Okay? You notice now, by the time you sit upright, even your breasts too, they will stand there and become upright, right? So you want to help that ligament to be able to carry the breast up. If you're doing like this, you're stretching the ligament. When you're sitting like this, the breast is upright, and that's exactly what we need to maintain that good shape. So keep that in mind. Every time you sit, every time you stand, sit like a boss. So this next point I'm about to discuss, I talked about it in my last video where we talked about the causes, but I didn't emphasize much on it, so I'm going to elaborate more today. And we're talking about weight loss. A lot of us are fit, fam, want to lose weight, want to look good. We're on keto diet, we're on all forms of diet in this world, trying to lose weight. It's a good thing. There's nothing wrong with losing weight. However, when you're losing weight, make sure you don't lose weight drastically. So some people do some really crazy diet, like losing 10 kg in 2 weeks, and you're like, what? That's not only very unhealthy, it can have negative health implications, and trust me, you don't want to go there, right? So, but minus the negative health implications, they also have impact on your breast, because when you lose weight gradually, of course, when you lose weight, I hope you know most of your breast tissue is fat, right? So you're also burning the fat there, and imagine that the breast shrinks in size drastically. With that kind of drastic loss of weight, the breast is going to most likely shrink in size. We don't know how much, but definitely there will be some reduction in the breast size. And because of how drastic that weight loss is, the skin may lose its elasticity, in the sense that the skin may not shrink as rapidly as that weight loss happened. So you tend to have saggy skin surrounding your breast. So at the end of the day, you have lost weight, but then your breasts look not so great. And trust me, you don't want that to happen. So when you're losing weight, take it step by step, take it gradually, because it's not only healthy, but it's good for your breast as well. Next point I'm about to mention, this one, even me, self-disclosure, I personally have a problem doing this, right? So I'm not judging anybody, but we all need to learn to do this more. And this is, can you guess what I'm talking about? I'm sure everyone's wondering, what kind of problem does she have? Like a whole doctor? Well, yeah, doctors are human beings too. Anyway, this one is drinking water. Oh my god, I never knew drinking water was such a difficult task. Like, I don't know, drinking water, I mean, sometimes water can be so boring, but before you guys will say, how can a doctor be saying this? Let me just stop right there. So you need to drink water, right? Because water helps to keep you hydrated. It helps to keep your skin looking good, and it helps your skin to maintain that elasticity. I remember I described what's elasticity. For those of you who don't know, it's ability for a substance to like go back to its normal shape or normal size when it's stretched. So for example, if you stretch a rubber band, when you leave it alone, it's going to go back to its normal size. If a rubber band loses its elasticity, when you stretch it, what happens? It stays like that. It doesn't go back to its normal size. So that's basically like the skin too. Imagine when, like I described in weight loss, but if you lose a lot of weight, remember that when you were big, that skin over your breast was stretched because your breast was bigger. But by the time your breast now shrunk and the skin has lost its elasticity, it's not able to shrink along with the breast that lost weight, right? So you have like flabby extra skin, and the breast will be smaller inside. So it's just not going to look nice. So same thing as about when you don't drink water and when you don't stay hydrated, your skin is not able to maintain that elasticity that helps you to, expand and shrink at will, right? Let me just use that for lack of better words. So it doesn't have that elasticity. If you know you want to have nice looking skin, especially for your breast, then you need to drink water today. I know it's easier said than done, but it's mango. You just have to try. You just have to try this drinking water thing. It will be a struggle for me, but we'll get there one day. And the last point I'm about to talk about is something that doesn't necessarily apply to everyone, but it applies to some people. So if this is you, then you need to think about it and you need to do something about it. And I'm talking about smoking, right? Smoking is harmful for your health, as most of us already know. But not only is it harmful for your health, it's also harmful for your skin. It makes the skin to lose the elasticity that we've been talking about. And of course, we've already discussed what happens when the skin loses its elasticity. it starts to look saggy, right? The skin surrounding the breast starts to look saggy, and that's not really nice. That's not what we want, right? So if you never had a reason to quit smoking before, I think this is a really good one. Quit smoking now. Easier said than done, but you can definitely do it. Let me know how many of these methods that we've discussed today are you going to start putting into practice? Which of them have you started putting into practice? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you're not subscribed to this channel yet, please click the subscribe button and share this video with anyone you think might need to see this. Remember, a healthy you is a happy you. See you next week.